Hey everybody, how's it going? Superfiend here, and welcome back to Planet Coaster Whacky World. So we have been focusing our attention on this attraction over here, the Hidden Temple, right? Hidden Temple. I called one hidden, the other lost, and then I get the two confused because I'm old and not as smart as I used to be. So we're going to continue in that same type of work in this episode. We're going to clean up in here a little bit. We're going to clean up this a little bit. I think we're going to try to do something over here. I think we might be able to, make this look a little bit better back here. I don't like the way that looks. And if I zoom out real far, you'll notice that we get this hard square edge that looks really ugly. And I'm not real happy with that. And the reason it's there is because I went ahead and I added some custom brushes. I changed the biome to a custom biome so that we can paint the sand and some other stuff over here. And I added the Old West or the desert sand for when we get over into this area, because I think I'm going to be using that quite a bit. And I kept a few of them the same. I brought in from the, I think it's the Alpine setting, I brought in these flowers. They're really kind of nice to put up on mountains. Like, they look like little flower patches that have taken hold on the peaks of hills and mountains, and they do look good. And this grass right here, let's see, I'll shrink the brush size down, but this grass right here I think is great for this tropical feel that we're going for in this area. Let's just undo that for right now. We will probably be painting that all over the place in here, but I don't want to do it quite just yet. And then I picked from Alpine the steep rock. I like the way that one looks. And the tropical rocks also. I think those are probably the best looking rocks in the game. I really do like the way they look. See, okay, there we go. So we're going to keep working on this area, and I'm going to stop the testing. I'm going to close it because I don't want to compete with the roller coaster sounds. And real fast, let's just go in here. Look at more research. My goodness. Okay, the Bakasura looks like a suspended coaster. Let's get some more going here. All right, marketing. Who cares about the marketing? Done with that. Staff. Let's just make sure that we're looking good with these guys. This is that janitor that we hired and stuck him outside, so we'll go ahead and fire him. We don't need him anymore. And let's just make sure that all of our shops are open. They're making money. And, we could go down in here and micromanage this stuff. Let's see. Looks busy, looks busy, looks busy, but quite honestly, I'm just going to leave it how it is. All the lines are pretty full, except this must have just been repaired. And, we probably should refurbish some of these rides. Well, this one's actually not too bad. Neither of these. Oh, this one's terrible. Oh, my goodness. We should refurbish that. Let's go ahead. Let's refurbish. And let's refurbish. Let's just get those two going. And this one's good. This one's good. And we're good over here. Okay. So now take care of all that stuff. And let's go have some fun over here. So let's see. Now, I was kind of looking at this in between episodes. I do kind of like the way, I kind of like the way this all looks in here. I think it looks neat. We'll put some tiki torches and stuff along the path and kind of light it up. I think it does look really cool in there. I do, after all, kind of like the way these steps come down this way, although maybe we'll make them go a little bit flatter and then they'll kind of come out here. But I don't know. I don't want it to be a super long walk to get to the exit of the ride because not the janitor, the mechanic has to travel that walk when the ride breaks down. So we want them to be able to get off the ride quickly, but it is way up here. So, I don't know. We could also, it could kind of come around and loop this way and then start going down and come down here. I'm not quite certain, but I do like the way it looks all enclosed in here, and I think this is really cool with the monorail also. I kind of like the way that turned out. I don't like this little bit right here hanging over, so either I want to bring it back or move it over the paths. And, I'm kind of tempted to move it over the paths because then it makes the base of this mountain just look a little bit wider, maybe a little bit more realistic. And if we were to do it on this side and leave a gap in here, then it would give like these two terrain arches that the guests can walk under, and that might have a nice aesthetic, a nice look and feel to it. And let's go in here and let's clean this up. Let's just push this stuff back a little bit. I don't think we want that high of an intensity, and I think we do want a smaller brush. And let's just push back until we can see our decorations. Okay, push over there. And we are going to put a ceiling on this, and I think we're getting to the point, or to a point in the series where it makes sense to kind of put the ceiling on this this building here. I don't really think we need to have this open for much longer, and so maybe we'll do that in the next episode. I think this episode I'm going to focus mostly on the terrain, and then the next episode maybe we'll close that building off. And I would kind of like to get a little tunnel going through here and get some steps that kind of head out to the pyramid over there. So let's see if we can just kind of push this out a little bit. We'll just burrow our way through here. Okay, good. And now we'll go flatten the foundation, and we'll pick a very small brush. And let's just see if this is strong enough to do anything. Okay, so I think it needs to be just a little bit bigger. And we'll just kind of push our way out there. Yeah. Okay, so now, whoops. So now we could kind of connect these two together. If we remove some of the brush in here, so I think we're gonna do that. And let's see, I think we'll just kind of click and take them away. And I don't think we want the big tree. Okay, now this one, let's see, let's do world axes. We'll just kind of... Now, I don't think the guests are going to really be able to see up in here. So it's mostly the view is mostly for these people as they come out this way and as they go by. So let's see, what are we going to use to build the floor in there? We're going to use the sandstone. So let's go over and make a building. It's not going to be part of our tree building, so we're done editing that. And let's do sandstone, and we want the roof, the flat roof. And we really just kind of want to get this guy in here. And let's see. Okay. And I'm gonna do it like that for now. I know that looks stupid. And I'll take these three. I'll split them from the building. We'll go this way. Okay, and we'll lower it just a tiny bit. Okay, and then we'll edit, and we'll take these two and split them. Just this one, actually. We'll split this one from the building. And now we're going to want to take this one and move it down just a little bit and turn it. Kind of get it in here like this. Now we want to take our terrain tool, and very gently we just want to push this away so that we can see the path. And we'll go ahead and we'll duplicate this building. Whoops, we'll do a Control X. And we'll I'll go about halvesies. And we'll do the same thing here. Now on this one, we're going to rotate it back. And actually, you know what, that looks fine to me, okay? We don't need to go overkill on this because no one's walking on it. Well, I don't think anybody's going to walk on it. I don't anticipate that we're going to have anything up here that anyone's going to want to use. Let's see. Okay, maybe we want to pull this up just a tiny bit here. It's okay if it overgrows the path just a little bit. And then we'll kind of... Okay. Let's see. Just around the edges of the path. Let's see, can we get this one? Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And then now what we'll do is we'll take this tree and we'll get our scaevola, and we'll just kind of, you know, put these along the edge. We'll go back in with our advanced movement tool and play with them a little bit more. Okay. Well, maybe. Maybe we will, because I don't know. I mean, they kind of look good just like that, don't they? Let's see. Maybe a little bit. Okay. Just push this one down just a little bit. And let's see. What happens if we manipulate this one? What's it going to look like? Okay, I think that looks okay, right? So that looks kind of neat, right? Like it's overgrown, and this is the path that they used to get up in here. Now, what'd they do when they got in here? I'm not quite certain. Okay, that was weird. You don't usually go out of the solid terrain like that. Okay, we gotta switch the camera around a little bit. I kind of want to have the big skull. Where is it? In here. There's a giant skull rock. A long time ago, I kind of had this vision in my head that as they came up this thing, there would be the skull. You know, somehow, I want to get this thing in here somehow, so that they see it as they go up. So maybe, yeah, let's just set him right there for now. Okay, and let's see if we can do something with this guy. World axes. Let's just see. And this guy might make a really cool, like, centerpiece or, you know, point of interest for the top of the mountain anyways. Let's just see. Now, I think we want to turn the angle snap off because I want him to be looking kind of more at the ride. So we'll maybe tilt him down a little bit. And let's see what else we can get out of this. Okay, now that kind of looks cool, right? But, oh, you know what? I think if we put another one on this side, because what I really want too is I want people down here to kind of look up and see those skulls and be like, wow, that looks neat. But in order for that to work, it's got to be looking down at the path, and this one's looking at the ride. So if we put one on this side and mirror it, then this will be the one that kind of looks down at the path and accomplishes that effect that I want to have. Okay. And we don't have any color or properties that we can change on these. Whoa, camera's getting all wild up here. Alright. So that kind of looks cool. You can't really see him so well from down here. Let's get down onto the floor. Certainly not right now in high noon. I had the lighting locked because it was transitioning and it was kind of bugging me. The way the lighting was when I opened up the game. So what we really need is we kind of need some lights on these things. And let's see. So let's, and the other thing I want to do too is I don't like to have free-floating scenery pieces. That was completely the wrong area. I want to go into the columns and get rid of the sandstone. 1M. I'm just going to take a little wood post and I'm just going to hide it back here. No one will ever see it. And then if we select that building and these things, we can combine it into a building. That way, if we start adding lights and things and we need to make adjustments, we just take this whole thing, lift it all up together, and then put it all back down to, you know, about there. And the wood post, nobody's going to see. So, all right, so let's actually edit this building. And let's, okay, where are the floodlights? Okay, we got a colorable floodlight, so they're in the decorations, lights. We got two of them. We got an area light and a floodlight. So the floodlights are the big ones. And, okay, so let's just set one here and one here. Okay, kind of poking up at those things. And let's go to nighttime. Okay, so we want these to illuminate our skulls up here. We want nice illumination on them, so let's see. But what we don't want is we don't want nice illumination of the ground. Don't want the ground to be super illuminated. So we'll tilt this back until it stops lighting up the ground. See, and then the light is cast just on the skull. Okay, that's what we want. And let's go do that with this one here. So we'll zoom him up. Now with this one, let's see. Okay, so we got this little bump here, which is in the way. And now we'll tilt this one back. And we'll tilt it this way too. And back a little bit more. Until it's just lighting the skull and not the mountain. Okay, now... Okay, I think that's passable. And how far away? I'm just curious, like, where else could we hide these things and still see their light on the map? Yeah, see, from this distance over here, if I can get the stupid thing to turn correctly. All right, turn around. It barely has a noticeable effect on the skull over there. It's not really lighting it up any further. I can fly over here. And let's see if we... Let's turn this one off for a second, right? And let's turn this one off for a second. So if we go back to this one and we rotate it, see, it's like, it's barely doing anything over there. So they do have to be kind of close. You know, if I have one consistent pet peeve with this game, it is the goddamn camera. Okay. The camera's really picky because it snaps to wherever the mouse is. So like if you accidentally get the mouse like over here and you start turning, it just goes bonkers. You always got to be mindful of where did you put the mouse when you start to rotate the camera around. Okay, so now the other thing we can do here is we want to hide these lights, right? We want to cover them up. So let's see if we take the terrain and... Okay, see? So now we get that. And we get that. And we make these two awkward little lumps on the mountain. Flesh them out a little bit. Okay, now I'm just trying to decide, you know, how much do I like that? Because I don't really like, you know, from down here, I don't really like the fact that you can see this so well. So maybe the other lights would work better. Let's go back into here. Let's edit this building. Let's turn... does this change the light color? It does. But I want to How come I can't set them both to be trigger when they're both selected? Okay, let's try the area light instead. Okay, now see, the area light's not bad. And let's see. Where would we put this? But see, if we put this over here somewhere, then it's really blinding as they go by here. And I don't want to, you know, I just want to illuminate the skulls. I don't want to blind the people on the ride. And, you know, what would be really cool is, well, I guess you can do it with the, by changing the palette more towards black. I was going to say like an intensity. Okay, so maybe this will work better. Okay, so let's try this. And tilt it back a little bit. And let's increase the intensity just a bit. Too much. Too much. Nah, you know, I think about right there is good. There's the camera again. And let's duplicate this little guy. And let's see. Put his brother right over here. Sibling. Okay, and then I get him just a little bit closer. Okay, maybe these work better for this actually, because then when we come down here, we don't see those giant floodlights, and you can just kind of see the skulls. And I'm gonna illuminate the inside too, so that their eye sockets get all bright. So let's see. Let's get these things. Let's get those out of here. We're not going to use them. And let's get this guy. Let's get you kind of down here. Let's see. Is there a way we can get him more on the ground without totally illuminating the ground? And you know what? I think I kind of like them better right there. Okay, let's play with the terrain a little bit more. Let's go to daylight so we can kind of see what we're doing here. And we'll just cover that thing up, right? And then we'll cover this guy up. And is there a nice tiny piece of scenery? Let's see. Let's okay, so these little things are right in here, right? We don't want to forget about them. So let's get a little tiny, teeny weeny piece of scenery. I guess this little alpine rock is good. And we'll kind of just stick it out right here so that we know where these things are. Okay. No, never mind. I don't like the way that looked. Well, we can see them with this. It's kind of a pain to get them if we want, but we could always lift the whole thing up. Okay. And if we go back to the PM and we unselect everything, I think that looks pretty good. And what about during the daylight, like way down here? Because the other thing too is, depending on how the light's cast, you can't really see these skulls very well. Kind of hard to see them. So maybe what we'll do, if I can get this right, is I'd kind of like some flames or, you know, some sort of effect to light up the sockets. I think for now, we'll go ahead and we'll stick to lights. Let's see. Let's duplicate that light. Okay, we got to get way in here now. Can I fly inside? Yes, I can. Okay, so let's get this guy right there. And let's go stick another one on this side. You know, fly into his forehead. And I guess, like, right... Okay, so I guess kind of like right there will work. And then let's change the color. I don't know if I want red. I'm kind of thinking more like an orange. Okay, we'll do that. And then we'll go over here and we'll set that on this one. And now we'll change it to nighttime. Yeah, look at that. That looks pretty cool. And then we'll come in here. And let's see. I think we need to use the terrain tool. And I think we just need to close up the back of this guy's head. A little bit of surgery here. And get him, you know, more embedded. Oops, misclick. More embedded into the mountain. Just a little bit. Do some of that on this side. And let's see, what about on this guy here? Maybe a little bit where his mouth is, a little bit up here. I guess right there too. All right, so that looks pretty cool. I kind of like that. So as you're coming up this ride here, and we could always put them on a trigger so that they don't light up until you get closer. And let's see. I kind of feel like, oh, would this be better? Okay, now it's really hard to select just the light. I don't want the skull, I just want the light. Okay, let's see. Okay, which one do I want? Not the red, I want the green. I want the green. Okay, so let's look at it from back here. Let's turn on the angle snap. I think that's kind of where I want it right there. I think that looks good. And the other one here, I want these eye sockets a little bit brighter. So let's see if we can get this light. We did. And let's take the green. And then we'll rotate it. And we'll see if we can't rotate that around. And get those eyes a little bit more ominous looking. Yeah, it's not really doing it. And which way is this going to move it? Okay, so now it's damn near impossible to select those things without selecting the skull. I guess we can get them. Okay, so that'll work. I like the way that looks better. So let's see, as we're coming up from down here, what's it look like? That looks cool. Oh, that's neat. Okay, cool. We can get out of that now. That took a little while to get done, didn't it? And now let's come over here. Get the camera back under control. I think I want to push this back a little bit. I don't like the fact that it is covering up this tower. So I just want to push it back just a tiny bit. It's okay if we get a little overhang in here. That's fine. Got a little... Okay. It's really hard sometimes to get rid of those little floating pieces of terrain. Okay, so that kind of looks okay. Get rid of that. That's good. Just wanted to push that back just a little bit. And let's see, what else can we do this episode to make things nice and pretty? I think we're going to open this up. Okay, we're going to open this up just a little bit. And then that'll probably be the end of what I intend to do for this episode. And we'll see you in the next one. And maybe have some fun with the paintbrush or come over here and clean this up. Because I want to get that looking better too. Okay, I think we need a smaller brush size in here. Okay, now I kind of like that. I want this to be visible from the path a little bit more than it is. No, I clicked on this. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll put down some like taller brush here and smaller brush here so you can kind of see them, you know, come flying out of there just a little bit. And I think it'll be cool. All right, let's see if we get the camera in the control again. And let's go check the research. Did we get it done? We did. Oh, look, we opened up two. We got a trident coaster. I think it's a boomerang, isn't it? Let's get both of these. Redouble the fun in back and forth. Maybe these are the ones that can go through the coaster station multiple times. That was something that was added in the summer update or recently after. I can't remember exactly. All right, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one, and have yourself a good afternoon.